All right, we're opening up the case file on a botanical mystery that has absolutely blossomed online. We're talking about a flower so rare, so dark, it feels like it's straight out of a fantasy novel. They call it the Papuan Black Orchid. But what's the real story here? Let's dig in.
So this is the big question, right? Is there really a priceless, pitch-black orchid hiding out in the jungles of Papua? I mean, the internet is filled with these whispers of a flower that's pure black, with a price tag that could run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. It sounds like a legend, but is it real?
For years, you've probably seen these incredible pictures of a jet black orchid making the rounds online, all pointing to this mysterious Papuan species. It's become this sort of holy grail for plant collectors, a symbol of something totally unique and priceless. Today, we're going to follow the evidence and see if we can separate fact from fiction. Okay, so our investigation has to start with the myth itself. I mean, the idea of a flower that's completely black, that's powerful stuff. It's easy to see why people are so captivated. But like any good detective story, the clues don't always lead where you think they will.
And our very first clue in cracking this case is a classic one: mistaken identity. You see, there is an official black orchid in Indonesia. But, and this is a huge but, the viral photos you've seen and the scientific reality, they are two completely different things.
So let's just hit pause on the myth for a moment and follow the real scientific trail. We need to identify our primary subject here, the actual documented black orchid that seems to be at the center of all this confusion.
Okay, meet our main person of interest, or plant of interest, Coelogyne pandura. This is the plant that's officially known in Indonesia as the black orchid. It's exotic, it's super valuable, and it is actually protected by the government, mostly because it's becoming incredibly rare.
And bam! Here is our first major plot twist. Just look at this thing. The true Coelogyne Pandurata isn't solid black at all. It's actually stunning, with these big, vibrant green petals. The black part is that incredible tongue, or labellum, which has these intricate, dark, almost painted-on markings. It is absolutely beautiful, but it is definitely not the midnight black flower from the internet.
So let's lay out the facts from the case file. 1. Its scientific name is Coelogyne pandurata. 2, and this is a big one, its native habitat is not Papua. It's Eastern Kalimantan on the island of Borneo. 3, its color is green and black. And 4, it's endangered, which makes its real story so much more important.
All right, now that we've properly identified the real black orchid, we can finally turn our attention back to that viral imposter. If the real one is from Kalimantan and it's green, then what in the world is that all-black flower that keeps showing up on our social media feeds?
Well, the answer isn't hidden away in some remote jungle. It's actually in a horticultural lab. That pitch black orchid you see online, it's not a naturally occurring species. It is a hybrid, meticulously created by humans through selective breeding.
Let's just break this down, side by side. On the left, you've got the myth, a wild, pure black orchid from Papua. And on the right, you have the reality, a green and black orchid from Kalimantan. The flower in those viral photos, it isn't a wild species at all. It's a man-made hybrid. The legend is basically mashed two very different plants into one.
Now you might be asking, how is this even possible? Well, the orchid family, known as Orchidaceae, is absolutely massive. We're talking over 25,000 known species. That makes it a genetic playground for plant breeders. This incredible diversity is exactly why they're perfect for hybridization, or, as scientists call it, genetic improvement.
So creating one of these hybrid orchids is this delicate four-step process. First, breeders select the parent plants. Then they have to meticulously transfer pollen by hand, sometimes using tools as simple as a sterile toothpick. If the pollination works, a seed pod forms. But here's the key. You can't just plant these seeds in soil. They have to be grown in vitro, in a sterile lab on a special nutrient gel.
So, what is the viral flower? Well, while it's tough to be 100% certain from a photo, it's very likely a complex hybrid from a totally different group, like a cymbidium. There are a few dark-flowered hybrids out there, like one called Kiwi Midnight, that were specifically bred by horticulturists to get that unique, dramatic, almost black color for the ornamental market. They are man-made marvels, not wild discoveries.
So, the case of the mythical Papuan orchid is pretty much solved. But this investigation has kind of uncovered a much more important story. It's not about a fake flower, but about the very real treasure we're all at risk of losing.
This quote from one of our sources, it just hits hard. While people are online chasing an internet phantom, real, unique species are just vanishing. The obsession with a mythical flower completely misses the point. The real crisis is the threat to actual biodiversity.
And the irony here is that the same hybridization techniques used to create these fancy ornamental flowers are also being used by scientists in a desperate attempt to save species like the real black orchid. They're using crossbreeding to try and rescue its genetics from the brink of extinction. But let me tell you, it is incredibly difficult work.
And this chart just shows you how hard that conservation work really is. This is from a study on breeding C. Pandurata. It shows the fruit fall rate, which is basically how often the process fails. Look at that first bar. In that crossing attempt, 50% of the flowers failed to produce a viable seed pod. Every single success is a hard-won victory.
So the real takeaway is this. The true treasure isn't some photoshopped flower or a lab-grown hybrid. It's the astonishing and often undocumented biodiversity of places like Kalimantan and Papua. These ecosystems hold wonders far more valuable than any internet myth, and they are disappearing.
And that brings us to the end of our investigation. The case of the Papuan black orchid is closed, but it leaves us with this lingering question. In an age of viral misinformation, what other myths are we chasing, and what real, irreplaceable natural wonders are we ignoring while we do it?